Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Chamberlain, the Air Force guy here at Beckley's Camping Center. And today, we're going to go ahead and show you the all-new 2021. This is the Imagine 2970 RL. For more information on this camper or any others, be sure if you call, if you email, or if you stop by Beckley's Camping Center here in Thurmont, Maryland, you do ask for Paul, the Air Force guy. For the specifications, pricing, and my contact information, I will have all that listed down below the video as well, but let's get on to this camper. So on the front of the camper, you're going to notice that you're going to have the molded fiberglass cap followed by the nice rock guard down below. And also in the molded fiberglass cap, you will notice the LED light strip on either side of the Imagine word itself. Also, keeping on the front there, you have your two 20-pound LP bottles, and you have plenty of room for you to put up to 2 batteries if you wish to prolong any boondocking type camping. And of course, followed up by the power tongue jack. Now, benefit there, making it a lot easier for you to get it on and off your truck, as well as leveling the camper. Now, down the off-door side of the camper is where you'll be doing a lot of your setting up for your dumping your tanks, hooking up your water, cable, electric, and so forth. Starting up in the first area here, this will be where you'll be hooking up your water. Nice thing is, very easy for you to hook it up right here. Now, because of the fact that you have it hooked up there, they also have you a set way for you to go ahead and turn that lever right there. Now you can fill the fresh water tank while you're hooked up, or if you wanted to, you have the fresh water fill manual right there on the side of your camper. Now, since the fill is right here, that means just down below here is where the dump would be for your fresh water tank. Not only that, but that blue tube that's coming through the floor right up there, that's also where your overflow is. Now you might say, well, Paul, why do I need to know when it's overflowing? Let me get back out and show you. So while you're hooked up to the water hose right here, or your water hose there, and you're filling your fresh water tank, so you'd have this for your fresh water tank fill, you would notice water coming out underneath here once the tank is full. That way there you know to stop filling the tank. When you're filling your fresh water tank here, you'll see it coming out of there as well, but you'll also see it back out of this area here. Now, something I do caution you with, because of the fact you have that overflow, in the event that you're going to be going boondocking and your fresh water tank is filled, there is a chance that your water can siphon out of your fresh water tank due to the fact that there is no shutoff on that overflow tube. Just consider it, you know, if you're emptying a pool with a hose, once you get that going, it's going to go ahead and empty. So that is a possibility of happening. Now, the manufacturers do not put a plug on that due to the fact that in the event that you did not have the plug off, the tank is in between the rails going down the coach itself, and obviously if you overfill the fresh water tank, it's going to bulge and it's going to damage your RV. So that's the reason why they don't put it on there. Now, however, if you're doing a lot of boondocking, that may be something you may want to consider doing. Just remember that you have that plug or that thing closed off if and when you're filling your fresh water tank. Now, staying within here, of course, you're going to have your battery disconnect. Benefit to you there is when you're not using the unit, you can go ahead and disconnect the battery, keeping it from discharging. 110 outlet here, you can use that to heat in here, recharge your power screw gun if you wanted to. It does have cable, and then actually 2 hookups for satellite. Now, people always ask me all the time, Paul, what are the differences? The cable is going to go to all of the TVs. That way there, you don't have to have it hooked to multiple cable sections there. But the reason for the differences on the satellite is you're going to need to have a separate box for each of the TVs. So that's why you would have that there. Now, keeping in this area, you're going to have your outside shower, which has both hot and cold water. Now, I know you're probably saying, Paul, how the heck are we supposed to get our cable and water hoses up in through here? What you're going to be doing is pulling it up right through there. Now, as you can see, that is going directly to the ground. So in order to keep the critters from coming up through there, because that's a highway to your camper, just put some brass wool right in this area, and that will solve that problem for you. Keep that brass wool in there even when you do not have the hoses and cables coming up through there. Now, as of with all of the Grand Design coaches, they do give you the winterization checklist right thing here. Well, actually not checklist, but actually showing you where the back of your water heater, where to turn the valves and so forth. That doesn't mean that the water heater's here. That's just the instructional part. But this hose right here is the part that you're going to go ahead and be able to put into the bottle of antifreeze to pull the antifreeze through using the water pump. And that is right inside of this storage area. Now, this storage area is the largest on any travel trailer, 47 cubic feet of storage. Look at all that storage in there. Notice how large the doors are as well. This doorway opening is 30 inches wide by 20.5 inches tall. But when you get inside of here, the height is 28 inches tall. The width back in the wide area is 35 inches, and then where you have this little cutout right here, it is 26 and about 1/4 inches wide. Lots of storage so that you can put all kinds of camping gear in here. Now, as an added benefit in here, what you have is you're going to have 2 sensor lights, one on either side, so you can set them where they're on all the time, off, or on a sensor, so when they sense motion, they'll come on. Then this little black button right there, that is going to be for the LED lights on the front of the camper. So that is everything inside of your storage bay area. Now, something you're going to like about the doors here. Number one, they're nice and thick, so they're very well insulated. Same thickness as your walls. Well, maybe not same as the walls, but it's pretty darn close. But very well insulated. The fact that it's magnetically held up, so now you only need one hand to open this, and then it has the slam latches on it. Makes it much easier for you to be closing and keeping those secured. On top of that, it is not a 751 key, which I know that'll make a lot of you happy about that. Now, for those of you that are getting to your campsite when it's dark, you're going to like the fact that they put this nice LED light over here, because this is where you're going to be hooking up your sewer hose, your electric. It also has your black tank rinse. For those of you that maybe need to get into the water heater to put the plug back in, that is all right here as well. Now, you're going to like the fact that you have 2 different gray tanks and they're marked. You have a gray tank handle there, and then you have one there. Of course, the black is in the middle. Now, all of these are coming out, even though you have 3 different poles, everything is coming out one location, as you can see there, making it much easier for you. And on top of that, you're going to have the black tank rinse. Now, I will link a video down below showing you how to properly empty your tanks, because I tell you, that's, I think, one of the most misunderstood items that you have on a camper these days. So be sure to check it out to make sure you're doing it correctly. Benefit to you there is you're going to have less odors to deal with in your camper. Now, as I mentioned earlier, your electric connection, but this is your 50 amp connection, and you could pare it down to 30 or even 15 if need be. I have it pared down to 30, so I can only run basically one air conditioner. So that is right there, and then of course right behind it is your furnace. Now, on this, you're going to have opposing slides here. One thing you want to make sure that you remember is when you put this slide out, make sure that you check this rubber strip to make sure that it's not bent back in. Otherwise, you could be having water running in your camper on those inclement weather days. Now, since the refrigerator's in the slide out, you're going to have 2 vent covers to vent for the TV, for your refrigerator there. Make sure that you take the necessary steps to keep the critters from going in there. I'll link a little video down below pertaining to that as well. And then, of course, you have the vent for over top of your cooktop, make sure that you have that open when you're using your vent over the cooktop, and make sure that you close it when you're not using it. And by all means, make sure that prior to you putting your hands up in there, that you do look up to make sure that there's no bees nests in the way for you. Now you do have the manual stabilizer jacks on the camper. Now the benefit on the manual versus the power is that you actually get to put a little bit more pressure, a little bit more weight on them than the electric ones. Now they are stabilizers, they are not leveling jacks, so once they touch, and I typically tell you to put a 6x6 under them, turn them maybe 2 or 3 turns. Again, remember that they are not leveling jacks. Now one other thing I mentioned in my videos about these slide outs, I would tell you before you put your stabilizers down to put your slide outs out. Same thing, bringing them in, make sure your stabilizers are up. If you read your owner's manuals, you will notice that it tells you to make sure that your camper is level prior to putting it out, which it will be when you're at the campground. You're going to go ahead and level it, then put the slide outs out. Now, I mean, I'm not even level at this point, and we put them in and out all the time here. So just word to the wise on that. And never, in my opinion, never put any stabilizers up underneath your slide out. You will be glad that you didn't, because that could be quite the dilemma in the event you did that. I'll link a video down below explaining that in more detail. So on the back of your camper, you're going to have, of course, spare tires mounted onto the bumper. I don't necessarily recommend that you put the sewer hose into the bumper, because as you can see, the cap could fall off. You could have it dragging down the road. So secure that somewhere else if you could. You have the ladder, making it nice for you to get up onto the roof. Make sure that you get up there and check the tops of the slide outs before you bring them in. And then, of course, it is already wired and framed for that Furrion rear observation camera. Benefit there is that you're able to see behind your camper as you're driving down the road, not just backing up. All you need to do is turn your lights on when using that. So let's show you what the roof looks like. So plenty of room up here for you to come up, and if you want to hang out, this is a walkable roof. As you can see, you do have the Winegard Air 360 that is installed, and you can upgrade that for Wi-Fi as well as a hotspot, so that's a benefit to you. Also on your camper, you're going to notice that you are already pre-wired for the Jaboni solar panels for the roof here. So it's already wired and already set up for you. Now I get people asking me, well, Paul, why would I want to come up on the roof though? You want to come up here, and anything that was put through the roof, as you can see, anything that has sealant around it, you're going to be checking that. You want to check that every 90 days. Check for cracking, peeling, bubbling, all of that, separation. Clean it off, remove it, and reseal as needed. As I'd mentioned before, getting up on top and checking the tops of your slide outs, so that way there, before you pull them in, you're not having debris going in up underneath the your seals and so forth. So what I mentioned earlier about you're able to get up here, you know, you can take in the scenery by sitting up here. If you want to kind of get away from the children or the crowds, and just take it in. Now let's talk about your door side. The nice thing about you have for the door side, you have 2 awnings. So that way there you can set the picnic table onto one, that the awning comes out with the slide out. The benefit of it coming out with the slide out, you're not losing any room up underneath of it. Now I do love the fact that these type of awnings, because what it does is you're able to pull down right here, and then what that does is that you could dip just one side or both sides of the awning so that you can knock the water down so it's not puddling up on there. And the other beauty of this type of awning is the fact that you don't have to adjust that when you're putting it away. It'll automatically adjust for itself. Now speaking of the awnings, of course you're going to notice that you have the LED light strip right there. Don't get too excited about that, because you're not going to use it when the bugs are out. Now when the bugs go away and it's colder weather, then yes, that's a nice little feature. Me personally, I'd much rather have blue lights down maybe underneath on the frame, or even lights hanging off the end of the awnings to light up my area. That way there I can choose the lights to keep, you know, that are not attracting the bugs. Another thing you can do for keeping the bugs away, get yourself a nice little fan to circulate the air while you're out here. Now, you know, maybe you want to have some entertainment out here. You want to watch some TV. Nice thing is, of course, with the 110 outlet, you can put all kinds of different things on that, but a TV with plug in you can watch cable or local TV, or even if you had a satellite dish, you could hook up something over this direction as well, so that you don't have to hang inside. Now also with your entertainment, you have your outside stereo speakers. And the nice thing with that is the stereo is Bluetooth, so that you can adjust the volume while you're out here using your phone. Now let's talk about the steps. The Imagine is using the step above. Now the benefit of these is you're not going to get the shaking of the camper because the legs are down on the ground and they're adjustable. All you have is there's a little pin right here, and as you can see, the legs are adjustable for the different terrain that you're out there. Keep in mind that when you are leveling your trailer, make sure that you have the door open if you have the steps down. Now the reason why you want to make sure that you have the door open when you're adjusting a trailer, if you're adjusting the nose of that trailer down, what's going to happen is that's going to start lifting these steps, and it's going to bind and bend the bottom of the door, so it's going to create a problem. So whenever you are adjusting the level of your trailer, if you have the steps out, just leave that door open. And you're going to like the fact that the door is magnetically held open, and it is a friction hinge door. Benefit of that is that for those of you that may not have had one before, is the wind isn't going to catch this door. It's not going to come flying out of your hands and go slamming against your camper. Major benefit. Now with these steps, also when you're putting them away, you want to make sure you have that door all the way open, and it's going to, this thing's going to fold quite nicely right up inside. Now as you fold up in here, don't slam them up into the doorway, because what will happen is it'll go past the doorway and it is a bear to get it back out. Now it does have a little latch that locks it in there, so it's not going to fall back out. As you put the door in there, it's going to be up against the metal here, keeping that step secure as you're driving it down the road. Now on the other side, I mentioned that you had a Swintech slide system. On this side, it's your typical rack and pinion. Make sure that you're lubing that on a regular basis to keep it from binding up. So as you can see, we have the slide out in. Just want to kind of give you an idea of what you're looking at. As you can see, you cannot get past the slide out to get to the refrigerator, nor if you could, would it matter, because as you can see, the refrigerator is blocked by the island. So this is what it looks like when the slide outs are in. Now when you're operating the Swintech slide outs, it is imperative that you plug into power, whether it's power at your home or your vehicle. Make sure that your battery is fully charged if you're plugging into your vehicle. You want to make sure that a couple things that ruin these slide outs, or people that have problems with these slide outs, is because A, they're operating them on low battery power. The other thing is, when you're moving it out or in, once it's all the way out or all the way in, make sure you hold that button for up to 10 seconds after it's all the way out or all the way in. That is imperative. You have two motors. You have a motor on either side, and low voltage is going to create a problem. Also, by not holding that switch long enough, what's going to happen is the motors are going to get out of sync. So be sure that when you're putting it in and out, that you do hold that button. Now something else, when you're putting these slides in, make sure there's no debris on the floor, and make sure there's no carpet and so forth. Something like that is going to cause you issues over time, and it only takes one time actually to create the issue. Okay, so as you come in the door, this is where your convenience center is going to be located. This is where you check your levels and so forth. Ceiling lights. What I like about the fact that they have it's blue lit, that way there, if you have all your lights left off and you're coming in here, it's dark, you're going to see where you need to go ahead and turn on your lights. Now you're saying, Paul, what lights turn on and off when you do that? Well, let me show you. So you have you have this one here in the hallway, and then in your living area, you can see that you have all of those lights in your ceiling that you're going to cut off. Now the other thing you could do as well if you wanted to is this is a sensor light again. You could set that on number 2, and what it will do is it'll sense motion as you come in the door. It'll turn on so you'll be able to see where you're going. Now the rest of these switches, this exterior light, that is going to be for your LED light strip across the awning, water pump, and then of course your water heater, which is gas and electric. It's an Atwood water heater. I'll link a video down below on how to properly operate that so that you make sure that you don't have the issues and you're able to maximize your hot water. Next, you're going to have your 2 switches here for your awning, and then of course for your slide outs. Number 2 being where your refrigerator's on, and number 1 is going to be your sofa and dinette. Now of course this is the Air Excel thermostat. Right now I have it running on cool high. Notice how quiet it is in here. Let me even put this up close to the air conditioner. So that is how quiet it is. Now they have changed the way that the air conditioner system works in here, and so these quick cool features, they no longer provide any benefit to you. But let me explain why. Now with that new airflow system in this air conditioner, it's going to increase the balance of airflow throughout your RV, increases the air volume. The efficiency is going to lead to energy and cost savings. Well, not necessarily for you, maybe if you're using it at the house, but also the bigger thing is reduces the temperature in your camper in a shorter period of time. Now I'm going to link a video down below. It's not a video I did, it's a video that somebody else did explaining how this new system works. It's something that in the Imagine line on up through the Grand Design lines that you're getting this system in here. And what it does is it doubles the amount of airflow that is coming into your camper. And what it's doing is it's actually it's a styrofoam piece that goes up inside there, and it has cut out airways that come down from the blower going directly into the chase or your air conditioning tract, giving you better airflow, giving you better airflow coming into your camper. So you're going to notice when you put your hands up checking the vents coming, the airflow coming out of the vents, it is much higher flow rate than it was before. So giving you a look at the inside of the 2970 RL, of course very similar to the 303 in the fifth wheel. This is basically the same floor plan in a travel trailer. So for those of you that might not be able to tow a fifth wheel, but you want that 303 rear living room floor plan, this is it. So you have your, if you want to call this your breakfast bar, nice little area. Nice, I don't know what you're thinking about the backsplash, but I like that. Not too keen to the fact that they moved the outlets up here, which used to be down here in the walls, but nonetheless, it's a nice clean look with plenty of storage. Of course, then you have your refrigerator freezer. This is the Dometic. And by the way, I have a video I'll do on this explaining to you how you're supposed to operate this refrigerator. Now, something you're going to like about this is they have the little rails that actually hold your items a little bit more securely on the shelf. Now, your stovetop with your oven, nice thing with it is, of course, you have this light, the blue light, it'll light up, well, the light switch here, push it up to number 1, it lights up the rings blue. Then you have off, but if you push it down to number 2, it actually has an oven light. That way there, while you're cooking, you're able to see what's going on in your oven. Now, something that people tell me, the way to make it more beneficial for using it, get yourself one of those Pampered Chef stones and put it right on top of that, and that will help distribute the heat better inside your oven, making it cook more evenly. Now, another thing you're going to like about this style oven, this Furrion oven, is the fact that this clicker here not only lights the burners on the cooktop, but that will also light your oven. No more having to get down on your hands and knees to light that oven. And again, a nice clean look back here. And notice how your fan switch and your fan and the light, notice how high that is off of your cooktop, giving you plenty of room to go ahead and be able to cook and put larger pans there. Now you do have another outlet that's going to be right up behind the light up there, so you might have to drop a little kind of like a multi-outlet down so that you're able to plug things in, make it a little bit easier for you. And of course, can't forget your standard microwave oven. Be able to cook some things, reheat things more quickly than having to throw them in the oven as well. And then you don't have to use the propane as well. Nice deep drawer down below your oven, allowing you to put your pots and pans in here. And they even have these little peg things in here. So that way there, the idea is it's supposed to, you put them over those, it's supposed to keep them in place, keep them from rattling around. Then in the island, of course, you're going to get outlets on either end, but look at your drawer space. You're going to have 3 drawers on either side. They're all going to be the same. Both sides are going to be the same, and then underneath, nice adequate storage underneath. And I like how they boxed off your plumbing and wiring to make it a little bit nicer for you. So good storage for you. No skimping. I mean, they've used every nook and cranny for storage that they could possibly use. Now for the massive storage, and that's going to be your pantry. Now notice there's no light on in there right now, but as we're going to open it up, it has a sensor light, and you will notice that the light comes on. Now I have a customer of mine, what he did was, because that light kind of does a great job for that top shelf, but not so much for the ones down below. So what he did was he wired in a piece of wire, came across the top here. What he did was he put a LED strip right down the side here of the lip, and boy, did that do a great job. But notice how they put the shelves back ever so slightly. You see the distance? That way there, if you want to hide a mop or a broom or something, you have that closet to do it in. Now you're going to love this it's a multicolor 1400 watt electric. This is an electric fireplace. And then of course it has different settings for you that you can set here. And of course you have your temperature here. You can set, you have the different flames, so you can change the colors. So you have 8 different settings for that, as well as a timer, temperature, and so forth. Now they put a nice large drawer above that, and then of course this is where you're going to hide your, you need to unlock it. They got a new locking mechanism for where your stereo's going. Now that's a Jensen AM/FM CD stereo with a DVD player and a TCL Roku TV. Now I do have a video showing you how to use your stereo, as well as programming your TCL TV for local channels. So I'll link that down below for you as well. Now as you can see, you have a nice freestanding dinette table, and these chairs, nice thing with these chairs is you have storage up underneath the little seats. You're able to put little things down below that. Nice thing with the chairs, you can decide when you want to sit closer to the table or maybe a little further away. And of course it's going to come with tie-down straps to hold those chairs in position while you're traveling down the road. Now, all the windows they have here, it's great. I mean, you have great visibility, and notice that all that visibility is going to be on your camping spot, and then it's also going to have all these windows for behind you. So it really only has one window if you wanted to check on your neighbors on that other side there. And then by the fact that they changed the blinds to black and having the valances come on there, the nice thing is you're blocking all that light coming in early in the morning, or any lights that you might have on the outside at your camping spot from coming in the evening. And of course, we can't forget about the Thomas Paine collection for your recliners. Now these recliners, you have, as you can see, you have the blue lights that go along the bottom. Those blue lights also correlate to inside your cup holder. And then of course you have a little vibration button, and then of course a heat. Do not think that this is going to be like those massage chairs at the malls or the heat on the seats in your car, because it's nothing like that. But they're very comfortable. Do get in them. They're manual. All you do is you pull the little handle right here on the side, and you can, it's like a wall weight recliner. You can actually stretch out on that recliner. And of course, on the back, you have your nice, good sized sofa here. Nice thing, you have 2 end tables with storage in them. And below them, you're going to have 110 outlets on either side, allowing you to recharge any type of devices that you may want to while you're relaxing here. Now let me show you what it looks like, because this is an actual trifold bed. Now to make this a bed, all you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking the cushions off the back. And the nice thing is that they're held on there with some Velcro. So you just take both of these off, just got to set them somewhere. Doesn't matter where, just get them out of the way. And then you just need to lift the front here. This will lift out, and you're going to have a leg on either side. And it'll lay down. Now all you're doing is you're going to be pulling this one down, and there you have it. That is your sofa. So this is going to give you 70 inches by 56 inches wide. But it's a nice, comfortable sofa, or bed I should say, because it has more of like a memory foam. Now the nice thing is when you're putting this thing away, if you had some blankets and pillows, you do have enough room that you can actually set it in here before you fold this and put it away. Gives you about 6 to 8 inches. And I'm sure that with pillows and a blanket, that once you set that on top of it, it's going to smash it down and fit just right. So once you put these cushions back on here, you're back in business. It is that easy. Now above the sofa you do have additional storage, and that is 16 inches deep. And of course you're going to have storage above your TV. Like I say, they have storage everywhere, and that's much deeper right there above the TV. Now just giving you an idea of what it looks like if you were sitting on the sofa here. Now I don't know if you noticed, but there is something missing in here. And that is the fact that you do not see any ducts, heat ducts on the floor. That's because what they're doing is they're putting them up underneath of your kitchen counter. That'll be blowing the heat in the kitchen area. Of course, the heat return, or the cold return, is right there back to the furnace. And then you're going to have heat ducts in the bedroom and the bathroom as well. Now something you're going to love about this is the fact that the pocket doors. You have a pocket door for the bathroom as well as the bedroom. That way you don't have the doors swinging open and so forth. I mean, you can latch them open, but you don't have them in the way when they are open. Something I recommend when you're getting in any camper is walk into the bathroom, close the door, sit on the toilet, make sure that you fit. And as you can see, in this particular one, you have plenty of room because the way that it is set up. And that is a porcelain toilet as well. Now, for those of you that do a lot of cooking in your camper, you're going to like the fact that, of course, you have the exhaust over the stove top, but you also have a power vent fan up here. Now, it's not the fantastic fan or the max air fan. It's the small fan. Now the benefit to that is the fact that you don't have to open a window when you're using the fan itself. You go ahead and open that vent and it's actually going to just pull whatever's in here, is just going to pull it right on out. You're not pulling the hot air in from outside or the cold air in while you're using that fan. So it's a benefit. Now, for those of you that want to have the power vent fan, that's all, since the power's already there, very easy to upgrade that system. Now take a look at the storage inside of this bathroom. Very good storage. I mean, you have your medicine cabinet up above. I mean, and it's shallow, but it's a medicine cabinet, right? You've got the storage, the little cubbies all along there. Now, because that's set that way, wait till I get in the bedroom, because that's going to be an added benefit to you as well. And then back here, you're also going to have additional storage. And then notice you have the towel hanger. It's already hung up for you. No need to worry about that anymore. Now, I'm talking about the shower here. You have headroom in there. You have 75 to 79 inches. It all depends on whether you're up underneath of the skylight or whether you're not. Now, in comparison, when you're out here in the regular camper, you have in the center, you have 80 inches of headroom. You can see it's a curved ceiling, so it's going to be a little bit less towards the slide outs. Now, inside of your shower, of course, you're going to have this nice door. Make sure that you hold that door. It'll go ahead and lock in position there. Make sure that when you release it, that you hold on to it, because that will snap right back in place. It could actually break it. Now, I think you're going to really love the fact this tile that they're using. This is a specially imported Italian tile, and they get it from Taiwan. Make sure that you check it out next time you walk in one of these campers. Now, I've had a request before to go ahead and stand inside the shower to kind of give you an idea of the room that you have. Now, I mentioned the height, but your width here is 35 inches wide and it's 27 inches deep. So hopefully that helps you get a better visual as to the room that you have inside your shower. Now let's venture on into the bedroom here, and as you can see, the first thing I'm going to talk about is these lights back behind the bed there. You can see I have one that's like a reading light, the other one is blue. You can dictate what you want on those. Now they put the drawers in here, and of course your storage, and then what they've done is they put a little cubby hole with USB and 110 plugs back behind there. But so that way there you still have these drawers here, and of course you've got a place to hang your shirts and so forth, as well as the room over top. Now, if that is not enough storage, then you have two additional drawers over here with additional hanging space. Now this light in there, again, another sensor light, so it will come on once you open the doors. Now we're not done with storage in the bedroom yet. Of course, you're going to have storage above the bed up here, and then notice how the doors open up high, and you don't need to use your head to hold them up, so when you're putting things in and out. And then lastly, you have storage under the bed. Now something they've added this year is this little shelf thing in here that slides, so you can slide it left and right and then store things up underneath it. Quite the nice little added benefit. And notice again how high that gets up, so you're not having to get on your knees to get under it. And again, you don't have to hold that thing up while somebody else puts things away or get things out of there. Now you can put a TV in here. There's a TV backer in the wall, and that way you can put it on one that pulls out. You're going to have an emergency window on this side. Now with the emergency windows also, a lot of people don't realize is that you can actually use this for ventilation. You just push it open and it will hold just like that. Now in the event that these outlets and USBs that are up here on left and right of the bed are not enough, they're also including a GFI protected outlet, 110 outlet on either side of the bed for you as well. Again, multiple ways to be charging or utilizing the electrical power in this coach. Now I mentioned when we were outside about this being 50 amp, because see, it is wired and framed already for a second air conditioner. Now when you put the second air conditioner up here, it's going to go ahead and go into the duct system as well, and so that's going to be additional air coming through your AC duct here, and it's directional, but then you have a warm air return giving you better air circulation in the bedroom. And these pocket doors are not a light type pocket door. It's a nice wooden panel, and they actually have some design to them. They're not just a flat panel. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the all-new, brand-new 2021. This is the Imagine 2970 RL. Give me a thumbs up if you're liking it. Let me know what your comments are. Comment right down below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Join me every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. for Ask the RV Guy, or first Tuesday every month, I have some RV trivia, get some great prizes. So again, I do appreciate you watching, and we'll be coming back at you again soon. Take care.